Episode 4. We're here. We're nearly at 5. It's amazing.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
So, what are we talking about today?
I thought we'd just do a bit of a fun one today and, talk about your dreams and stuff and where you want to be, or, when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up? I wanted to be a fireman. And I volunteered as a firefighter for 3 years, and I was like, nah, fuck that. It's hell dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk about maybe what's on your bucket list? What's some things you want to do in life? What do you want to experience?
And what have you experienced as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've been overseas, right? I've never left Australia.
It's important to follow your dreams. And as a kid, I wanted to travel, so
Yeah.
We don't all want to travel. A lot of us just want to stay in our same city, and that's cool as well.
That's cool. There's a lot to see in a city usually.
So, what were your dreams when you were a kid?
I wanted to be... So, I was a skater. So, I was into park skating and stuff, with trick deck and stuff. And then I was a surfer and a bodyboarder. And they were my two big things that I just loved in high school. Most mornings I'd be in the beach,
Cool.
Hitting the waves, go to school, check the surf out. If the surf was crap in the afternoon, go have a skate for hours. And you go home at 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick. I loved it.
Because you grew up on the South Coast.
Yep. Old Bar.
That was the life.
That was the
Those
life.
Coast kids.
Yeah, that was the life. Oh man, it was so much fun. I remember being younger and we were allowed to just go and walk the streets as late as we want. I don't know. I guess different parents have different rules and stuff, but my parents were pretty chill. They would just, I was like, alright, I'm going to a party. Yeah, no worries. See you later.
Cool.
Or I'm gonna go and hang out with my mates for a couple of hours. Yeah, whatever.
That's awesome. It's different nowadays.
Yeah, heaps different nowadays. But I always thought I was gonna. Well, not thought. I just loved skating and surfing, and that's what I really wanted to try and do. But
Can't make money from that.
nah, not really. Unless you're an elite surfer. Then it's just more fame than money, really.
It's just a way to escape as well and to relax.
Yeah, it was, because I remember surfing especially was a way to, it was almost like meditation, and then the skating was to get my anger out. It's because I would hurt myself, or I would do a trick wrong or something, and then I could just be like, fuck,
True.
and then get that anger out. But surfing for me, whenever I was upset or sad or something, I'd just go and sit behind the waves. I wouldn't even catch a wave sometimes.
Just relax out
I
there.
just lay down on the bodyboard or whatever and just chill for hours. And that was my meditation. That's why I loved it, because I was addicted to that feeling of no one's around me, and no one's gonna bother me because I'm out the back of the break, or no one was gonna yell at me or whatever. That was my safe. The ocean, even though people will say, oh, I'm so scared of sharks and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I love sharks, and because it was the ocean is my safe place.
Wow.
Yeah, so I love it.
It's good you had that.
Yeah, what about you? What were you into as a young hooligan?
I didn't grow up on the coast, so I didn't have the beach, but I had a bike.
A bike?
So that was my way to escape.
That's sick.
Ride around.
Like a mountain bike, or?
I had a BMX bike, and then also had just a mountain bike.
Yeah.
And it was my way to escape the home, where I felt independent as well.
Yeah.
Where I felt freedom, a little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Where I could go out and ride my bike to wherever I'm going, and
That's
Yeah,
cool.
because you need it. Like, you need a sense of escape as kids. And I know a lot of kids today, and a lot of adults as well, play video games.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has an escape to get away. You know, a meditation. Mine was riding my bike really, really fast, I think. Skateboarding was also... I really loved skateboarding.
Yeah.
Skating was always a big one for me as well.
Yeah.
And shooting hoops as well.
Basketball.
Just shooting hoops, just
Yeah.
mindlessly for hours.
That's sick. I was crap at basketball.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was for sure.
I wish I could shoot hoop. That's cool.
Yeah, because school was shit, you know, most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, some people love school. Personally, I felt like it was a bit of a prison. So whenever I was not at school, like you, I was trying to do something like riding my bike. You know, a lot of kids played sport. I didn't really like sport that much. I played footy and cricket and all that, but I didn't really feel like it was an escape. Rugby was, I guess, a bit, because you got to like hit people, but I didn't really
want to hit people.
Didn't really want to. Yeah.
I was the same. I hated playing footy. But I just played it because I thought I had to.
Yeah.
To fit in.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So do you still skate now? Or do you still surf now?
No, I don't. I mean, I've got my bodyboard and stuff. The same bodyboard that I used. Pretty cool. Still got it. I don't really go surfing that much because I'm so far away from the beach now in Canberra. And skating, I don't skate too much because I had a brain injury when I was in year 10. So there was... Do you want me to paint a picture for you? It's pretty hectic. So I used to be into longboarding, and I had this really long board like that was made out of bamboo, and I absolutely loved it. Like it was my favorite thing. And me and like my mates, we'd always go bomb big hills and stuff.
Cool.
And we loved it. Like we were getting really good at it. We were starting to slide out and like everything. It was actually so much fun. And then one day, up in Foster, there's a beach called 1 Mile Beach, and at the north side of that, where this massive sand dune is, there's like really windy roads down to the car park. So me and my mate Bailey Fall, we were like, yeah, let's bomb this hill and let's go down to the bottom of it. We got to the bottom and everything, and like I don't remember anything from here on to like from basically dropping at the hill. Like as soon as I took off, that's it. That's my memory done. And then because Bailey said that when I got to the bottom, I hit a pothole and it's locked onto my trucks and it spat me onto either the road or the grass, and it spat me onto it and straight away instantly concussed. And Bailey was like, he rolled me over. My eyes were in the back of my head. I was like bleeding from my nose and there's blood in my mouth and shit. And then I got rushed to hospital, and I basically, the first night I got there, they said that I was good. They were like, you're alright, like just walk it off, whatever, we'll send you home. And that night, I spent the entire night passed out on my lawn, on the back lawn, because I was vomiting. And me and my old dog Dude, we were like sleeping together on the lawn because all night I was vomiting. And I was in so much pain in my head, and I was just like, next morning, as soon as Mum and Dad woke up, I was like, take me to the hospital, I'm not okay. And then took me to the hospital, and then like they were like, oh fuck, you've actually got a brain bleed on your left lobe. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, like it was fucking hectic. So I had to be put into a special room and everything because the noise was so like I was so sensitive to noise, to movement, like my eyes would hurt. My friends came in to see me and they were like, oh, Eminem just dropped a new song. And I was like, yeah, let me hear it. And they played it for me really loud, and it was the most painful experience. because the volume was just bashing my brain.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember I had long hair at the time too, so I had a shower, and I usually shake my hair like to get the water off and stuff, and it's just a habit. So I had a shower and I shook my head, and as soon as I shook my head, my whole body just went woof, like it just collapsed down onto the ground because the movement just put me. It was just hectic. Yeah, so. It was my fault though because I didn't wear a helmet.
Yeah.
So, if I was wearing a helmet, I probably would have been okay.
There you go.
But and that's the truth. So that day I learnt how important safety gear is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even me, fell off my longboard last week. Broke my wrist. Wasn't wearing a helmet.
Oh.
And a friend of ours said that her nephew fell over off his longboard, hit his head on the concrete, and died.
Yeah.
And he was going to get engaged to get married.
Oh shit.
So, wear a helmet. Don't be. You can still have fun.
Yeah.
But just be responsible.
Yeah, like, especially on those the scooters, electric scooters in Canberra. People like, I remember I went out clubbing probably a month ago with my friends, and you see these people that are drunk riding these scooters, no helmet, and they're just like fucking ducking and weaving traffic. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's hectic,
What is it about young people? We have no fear of. Well, actually, we don't have responsibility. A responsible person wears a helmet. A responsible person thinks about their job. They think about
the future.
Uni. They think about future. As young people, we don't really give a shit. We don't care about our bodies. We take drugs. We drink alcohol. We have unprotected sex. We do all sorts of stupid shit.
Yeah.
And we don't think about the future at all. Because we're young and we don't care about ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, women mature earlier than men.
Yeah.
Men take longer. I feel like there's still 30-year-olds that are still, like, young boys.
Yeah.
But around 30, I think, is where it clicks.
Literally, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they had a special guest on, and it was, Chang from The Hangover.
Yeah.
It was his... Oh, wait. Was it Chang? No. It was this, like, Asian comedian. Sorry. He's pretty famous.
Oh, I think I know him, yeah.
Yeah, he's, like, really funny. He has a younger brother.
Okay.
And he was on the podcast, and he's in his, like, 30s, mid-30s or something, and he's just, like, such a child. And I was like, far out. I'm struggling to listen to you because you're such a baby. Yeah.
I think it's pretty common.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm still, obviously, look at me. Broke my wrist. But, it takes a bit of wisdom. Sometimes we have to get knocked around to learn the lessons.
Yeah, that's true.
If you didn't have that fall, maybe you might have kept going down a similar path and might have gotten worse, perhaps.
Yeah, probably would have. I probably would have tried to do it somewhat professionally, and if you look at most of professional skaters and stuff, they don't have the cleanest bodies, or
Hell no.
got a lot of broken bones, a lot of drug use, alcohol abuse, all that sort of shit. Yeah, Rusty, go away, out.
So I guess that's the thing, is like, when you're a kid, you don't really know what are you going to do with your life, and you think, okay, well, I love surfing, I love skating, I love riding my bike.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do that because that's fun.
Yeah, it's sick.
Then, we finish school and we're like, alright, we have to get a certification in something. We have to get qualified to be alright, I'm going to be a tradie, or I'll go to uni and study psychology, I don't know. And then it's like, alright, then I'm going to be a plumber after my degree. Or I'm going to be a psychologist. Does that mean I have to give up the thing I love the most? Yeah, sometimes you do. Like,
definitely, for sure.
Did you give up after that? Did you give up skating, or did you
Yeah, I didn't touch a skateboard for years, and then I was at uni, and one of my mates had a longboard as well, and we would sometimes, he would longboard around UNE, and because they had like a really steep hill and stuff. And one day he was like, "Oh, come on, Liam, get back into it. Like, let's go." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Let's do it." And my confidence was shattered. Like, I was terrified the entire time. It was insane. Because I was remembering how confident I was on the skateboard, on a longboard, on a trick deck. You know, I was so confident, and now I'm shattered because of that experience, which is pretty hectic.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I mean, I'd like to still do it, but nothing serious.
Yeah.
Just around the lake or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
That's really what I'll do.
I think that's what they're meant for. It's
Yeah.
just we take things to extremes because it's fun.
So what did you want to do when you were in high school?
Travel.
Just travel? You've travelled a fair bit, right? You went to Japan, Canada. Let's see if I can get them. Japan, Canada, America?
Briefly.
Yeah. Amsterdam?
No, not Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. Where else?
Also lived in New Zealand.
Oh, chur, bro, chur.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was I thought, all right, what do I love to do? I love to ski.
Yeah.
So I'll just do that.
Do you ever go to Switzerland?
Nah.
Yeah.
I want to go. I haven't been to Europe. So yeah. So I pretty much just did skiing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a glorified ski bum.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun lifestyle.
Yeah, I nearly got a job down in Perisher as a chairlift operator.
Yeah. You would have been a ski bum.
Yeah, fucking hoped I would. Living down in Jindabyne, like
Yeah, you just drink, party,
beers every night,
Yep.
party every night, like
just sex, random people.
yeah, and
Just yeah.
it was I was literally weighing up skiing or job at the Swiss Embassy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then
Good
I was
choice.
like,
Well,
what the fuck am I doing? Because if I went down the ski route, it just would have been like college again.
oh yeah.
It would have just been a party lifestyle,
Absolutely.
getting nowhere, no responsibility.
Zero.
Yeah, and then I was like, nah, I've got to start doing something. So yeah, thankfully,
That's good.
Fucking did the other
That's a
thing.
good choice.
Yeah.
No, it's a really good choice.
Yeah, I lined up accommodation to live down in Jindabyne and everything. But yeah, that's cool.
No, I think it's good.
Where do you want to go next?
Actually nowhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I'm done traveling for now.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Even in Australia?
Yeah, you could travel around Australia a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Come to Uluru with me.
yeah, I've been to Uluru. Uluru's cool.
Oh, have you?
Uluru's nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing.
I'd like to go to far Northern Territory.
Yeah.
Right to the top. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's sick. Like Darwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just travel around there a bit.
Get in like a helicopter or something, like one of those mini helicopters, and fly over Kakadu and Arnhem Land and stuff. Oh, that was hectic.
Man, that'd be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I've hiked 60 k's in Kakadu and 60 k's in Arnhem Land.
Wow.
And when I was in year 10 as a part of a Duke of Edinburgh program,
Okay.
and it was like to this day the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Really?
It was incredible.
All the colours and
Yeah, there was this one area where there was just butterflies flying and like thousands and thousands of butterflies. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was like all these butterflies are just staying in this one
that's so
spot, and we had to walk through it because that's the path.
cool.
We all had to walk through these thousands of butterflies. It was fucking cool.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
It's like pure up there. It's like
Yeah.
a bit more untouched.
yeah, it is. It's crazy. Yeah, that's my favourite place. We got staunched by
Locals.
nah, like buffalo. Is it buffalo?
Oh, buffalo.
Is it buffalo?
Buffalo. What do they look like?
It was like, I think they looked like buffalo,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
want to say they're buffalo, water buffalo. I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure they're in Australia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got staunched by these
Fuck.
like beastie looking cows, which I'm gonna call
Fuck.
buffaloes. There was like a fucking whole herd of them,
Oh,
and all of a sudden this big alpha male steps forward, and one of our host was like, "It's okay, everyone stay still," and one of the dudes was like, "Fuck that!" Dropped his pack because we all had camping packs on. Dropped his pack and climbed a tree, and he was so far up this tree. And then Mr. Holland was just like, "No, it's okay. They're gonna go." They just sort of like, once they realized we weren't gonna hurt them or muck them up or whatever, they just left. And then
That's cool.
he's in the tree and he's just like, "I'm not coming down." It was so funny.
It's actually pretty good defense though.
Yeah.
It actually makes sense.
Yeah, it does. He was pretty switched on. He would have survived out of all of us, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
So
we're laughing at him, but that's actually a good tactic.
yeah, it was just funny how quickly he got up there.
Fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start practicing climbing trees.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really... Like, I used to think that travelling was the best
Get
thing, you know, to do after school. I thought, fuck uni. Don't go to uni, just go travel. But now I'm thinking, you gotta do a bit of both, you know.
Yeah, it's fair.
Travel for a bit, but also get a degree, get some direction, get something where you've got a longer term plan. Because like, if you just do the winters, or if you just do seasonal living, you go live in another country and you just get a hospitality job, or you just, you know, work in a bar or teach English or something like that, it doesn't have any long term play.
No.
And you know, it is fun because you have freedom, but you don't have fulfillment. You don't have true fulfillment. Yeah, you has drugs, sex, and alcohol. Amazing, beautiful countries. You don't actually have to have drugs, sex, and alcohol, but you can look at amazing countries.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing. But there's something better.
The sex or the country?
They're both awesome. I'm just saying, being overseas, traveling is awesome. But it's better if you have like a real, you know, if you're really stepping up and following a path of maturity and purpose. You know, you're actually contributing to society. You're
creating something as well, like internally. I think that's what's so good about it is, you know, all these, you know, these temporary jobs are great because they allow you to have fun and all this sort of stuff, but what are you creating internally? You know, like, what's it doing for you internally?
Yeah.
Ultimately, the way I see it is that I want to do a job that fulfills me internally. And I want to do that for the rest of my life, because I don't see, like, it doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't. Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
You know, because
which is upsetting.
Well, they just want money.
Yeah, which is... Yeah, that's. I mean, fair enough if that's what they want.
Well, everyone needs money.
Yeah, of course.
But like, how do you create a job that's fulfilling, that makes money? That's the hard part.
Well, you follow your purpose.
But how do you find your purpose? Because it's so hard.
You start with something. You just start with something that you like. You know, let's play a scenario. So, what's something that you like?
Astrology.
Okay, so how would you get your foot in to an astrology career?
Start giving people astrology readings. Yeah,
so you start giving astrology readings, and then once you start doing that and you start to get the feedback, you then say, hey, I'm going to start charging. So then you start charging for that, you start making a little bit of money, and then once you get that crowd built up, then you go public and you go make a Facebook page, make a, you get your networking skills out there, and all of a sudden people from whatever are going to start wanting your astrology. Then you start doing courses or classes, and then you get groups of people doing it, and all of a sudden your groups of people are going and you're teaching them, and then they're going to go out and then they're going to attract more clients for you. So it becomes this huge web.
So it's step by step.
Step by step.
But I have to have another job just to pay the bills, right? At the start.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you can't just make a living off like a couple sessions here and there.
Yeah.
I guess it takes a while. It takes a fair few years to...
Depends how serious you are about it.
So maybe, yeah. yeah, if it's like my true passion, which it is. What about you? What's your interest? What's your true passion?
Like at the moment it's gardening, but I want to start stepping into public speaking, and by 2023 it's in my astrology that there's a massive shift, because Anya was telling me about it. There's a huge shift from like physical handwork to communication.
Cool.
So I was like, okay, something's happening in 2023. And
would have you just been being more of like a manager maybe?
Maybe
2023
could be, I don't know, but I'd love to start public speaking with like mental health.
Cool.
And stuff like that, and that's what I will eventually do full time for the rest of my life.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
wow.
I'm gonna try, and that's why I want to get my business going. And once my business is big enough, I'm just gonna have that in the background. I'm going to have 2 different divisions. So one's gardening, one's landscaping. And then my other division, which is mental health.
That's
so
cool.
I have 2 managers running that with apprentices and stuff. That will be its own little ecosystem. And then I want to have my own mental health journey going on as well.
Cool. Because you got a big long-term plan.
Yeah.
That's cool. And how did you discover this is the thing? This is what you want.
Gardening?
No, this whole plan, like gardening and public speaking and mental health.
Well, I started gardening, once I started gardening, I started realizing how much of an impact it has on your mental health.
Right.
Watching plants grow, giving yourself some sort of a purpose, because that plant relies on you to survive. So that's your responsibility to keep that plant alive. So for me, who was severely stuck in depression, and anxiety and all this stuff, all of a sudden I'm like, damn, these plants rely on me to stay alive. So that gives me that sense of purpose and belonging.
Yeah.
So then that's where that started, and then I want to show people how it works, because it works, and I know it works. So I want to show people who are struggling with mental health to start their own garden. A vegetable garden is the best thing, because you can physically eat the reward. So, and it helps you internally, like your guts and stuff. So it's the best reward for you. So I want to help people do that.
That's
and
cool.
And then once I realized that was it, I was like, okay, I want to be more involved with mental health. And then through the work that we do at Jason's Academy, I've still got a long way to go for that journey, but still with the work that we're doing there, I want to do mentoring and public speaking and stuff. And because I have like a burning sensation inside of me where I'm like, I just want to help as many people as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely have the same thing.
Yeah. And we've talked about like plans of working together and stuff, and getting this out there and things as well.
Yeah. Talking to schools and maybe helping them with their gardens. Like organic gardening as well.
Exactly, because it's so important.
Yeah, for everything. For the body, the mind, the emotions.
100%.
No, I think it's a really cool thing. So that's like, it's like purpose.
Yeah,
you know?
That's my purpose. But see, it started with something that
and
what it started with is the choice of, okay, do I want party life, or do I want to start doing something for myself? And then I started that for myself journey, and little bit by little bit, you start to pick up things and go, I want to do that, and you make it happen. Like, no excuses, you make it happen. And then all of a sudden I've got a business, and I'm like, fuck. And
you can choose which movie you want to play. You know, if you're heavily addicted to substances, you can choose the path where you can continue to do that and avoid your emotions, and pretty much pity yourself and be stuck. And that's what I chose by running away to other countries and to hide myself away in a ball. Or you can choose a responsible path of taking ownership for your life, getting a trade, or if that's what you want to do, getting qualifications, and creating a plan long term where you can live a sustainable life, you know, eventually buy a house, and have a family, etc.
Yep.
It's like, but you also need to identify what's really going on. If you do want to run away, why?
Yeah.
You know, what's the pain there? Is it you're afraid of, are you just afraid of responsibility, or have you got problems with your parents, or do you just not want to be here generally in the world? Like, do you want to die? Are you suicidal? Like,
yeah, exactly. So many different factors.
I
think that's why it's really good that you know, we are a part of a personal development program, which is the Wellness Academy, because I know for a fact I would not be here doing what I'm doing without that help and that support and someone to say, like, it's okay, I've got you if you fall, but you won't fall, but you gotta trust me, I've got you if you fall. And then, you know, that's what, you know, so if someone who's listening to this, it feels that way, it feels stuck and feels like I want a different life, get the help.
Yeah,
like,
ask for help.
Ask for help, get that support,
important.
Because there's no way I will be doing this without it.
Yeah, we need each other, like, we need support. And if our parents aren't there, you know, if you don't have friends there, go to a counsellor, go to a psychologist, go talk to the neighbour that you trust, ask your cousin who's always been kind to you for help. Just reach out, because I agree with you, like, if I didn't reach out, I'd probably be dead. Probably would have skied off a mountain. I don't know what I would have done. I would have done something to end it. Because no one knows how you feel if you don't tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And the hard part is sometimes you don't even know how you feel yourself without help. You know.
Absolutely.
I thought I had my shit together. I thought I was doing alright. And then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, I hate myself. I think I'm disgusting. I have deep depression. I have anxiety. I have fear. Like, you know, I have all these things. And I'm like, damn, okay, I acknowledge that they're there. And I'm like, alright, now I am getting help as well to deal with that and work with it. You know, not work against it, but work with it.
Work with it, yeah.
Yeah, and
makes it easier.
I couldn't do that on my own, no goddamn way.
Nah, I mean, you tried.
Yeah.
Alcohol, drugs.
Yeah, that's...
You know, or...
You think that's the right thing to do. You're like, oh, I feel depressed. Oh, I'm gonna go smoke some weed. That's what you do to cure depression. No.
Well, we're told that that's not cool to have those. So, what do when we feel these way? You know, we do something to push it down. But that's the model of the academy, is to not do that and to honour, acknowledge and accept that I hate myself. Accept the truth that I'm anxious as all hell. I got thoughts of running through my brain all the time that, you know, I want to chop people's heads off sometimes. You know, I just want to get a knife and, you know, commit suicide like the Japanese do.
Yeah.
You know, because it would be easier. Like, to actually say that to someone makes it so much easier. I think. And for them to just sit there and accept you. To not want you to change. It's a problem with the psychologists today. And that's why it's important to find the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
It's because if you pick the wrong person, this could get worse. Like, I remember when sometimes my mum would say, how you going? And I felt shit.
Yeah.
You know, and after a while I said, you know, Mum, I feel really shit. And she goes, well, why do you feel that? I said, I don't know. Yeah. And then she says, oh, well, we need to fix that. You need to stop that.
Yeah.
You know, you need to stop that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, fucking, I think so too.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
That would be great.
And she's like, well, you need to go see this person, you know, she'll give you a little pill. I'm thinking,
no.
this is not what I want, Mum. I don't
No.
want a little pill. I want you to sit there and accept me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the acceptance, and it's totally fine. You know, my mum is caring in her own way, and there's nothing against her support. But this is the problem with the older generation, is they just want to fix.
Yeah.
You know, it's not okay to feel depressed. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
Let's make it go away as fast as possible. No, what we need is acceptance. We need to say, oh, you're feeling like shit? That's okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, that was great. That triggered actually some sadness in me just then. I was like, oh damn. I like felt really emotional just then, because I was like, I had the exact same experience where I tried to be as vulnerable as I could, and they're just like, oh, like, I'm on antidepressants. Come on, you can go get some antidepressants as well. And I'm like, nah, you're not hearing me.
Right.
You're not listening to me. Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Because my mum doesn't want to go there with me.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to feel the depression either.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just say, let's go fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's why you want to see someone who you trust and you feel safe with. Because yeah, a lot of people might make it worse, like psychiatrists, modern psychologists. They all want to give you a pill.
Yeah.
And what is a pill? The pill is no different than alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just trying to swallow it away. Let's just take that. It'll change my brain chemistry.
Yeah, it does.
Everything will be fine.
It's just a blanket. It's a fire blanket. Because I mean, that's probably a bad metaphor, because fire blankets are good.
They actually work.
Yeah.
But it is a blanket, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a blanket for your emotions. Like, they're here to teach you something. They're here to tell you something. And we know this from first-hand experience because of the work that we do at the academy. So we know, and like, take our word for it. Like, that emotions are here for a reason. There's a reason that you're sad. There's a reason that you're angry. There's a reason that, like, you have these thoughts and they're making you react. You know,
don't make them go away.
Yeah, don't suppress that. Be like, hey, what's going on? Like, let's talk to myself, or like, let's figure
100%.
this out. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. You've got a mozzie on your cheek.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
Thanks for letting me
No worries.
Yeah. It's a pretty tough one.
Yeah. Is this what you experienced when you were younger? I mean, not experienced, expected when you were younger? Like, did you think that life was going to be pretty cruisy and that, like, you know, did you ever think that, you know, it's not that hard to be an adult, or you can just sort of bum around and do whatever you want for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I remember thinking that as well. I was like, damn, I'm excited to be an adult because I can just keep doing this. And I'm like, now I'm here and I'm like, I don't do any of that.
Don't have time.
Don't have time. Fuck no.
Yeah. There should be like a reality check for children.
Yeah.
You know.
You know that, and you know what that reality check would be in high school? Is if they did a class on taxes. And if they did a class...
taxes, super...
Yeah, if they did a
budgets.
fucking class on budgeting money, how expensive things cost.
Yeah, rent, everything.
Rent. How to get a rental property.
Yes.
You know? How to save for a house deposit.
How to be a good roommate.
How to
you know...
how to have good sex.
How to adult.
How to adult, you know?
How to be an adult. That should be the class. Yeah, how to have sex. I think there is kind of that class, but...
sex ed PE. Not great.
But you're right. It would be much easier.
Yeah.
How to start budgeting for a mortgage.
Because it's a wake-up call, you know? Like, for me, all of a sudden, I was like, I don't need a house until I'm, like, in my 30s.
Yeah, true.
And then, now I'm, like, 23. I'm like, damn. It would be smarter to get a house as soon as possible. So now I'm like, fuck. Now I've got to
start saving now, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people can just do it. Like, some people have saved from the time they were, I don't even know how old. I did not. I spent everything.
Yeah, same.
I spent it on everything.
I
Random
know-
shit.
I know a chick who's in same age, same year as me in high school, and different high school though. And she saved. She has a house now,
Cool.
and a decent house.
That's great.
And guess what job she was working at during high school?
Macca's?
KFC.
There you go.
Dead set.
Holy crap.
She just, as soon as she could
Saved.
start working, she started working.
Good for her.
And from that day, she started saving for a house deposit.
She is an anomaly.
Fucking
She's
oath.
amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I was told that when I was young.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But like, you need to figure this out for yourself. Everyone has to.
It's a journey. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a important thing to recognize as well, is that life's a bitch sometimes, but it's a bitch for a reason. You've got to roll with the punches. You've got to figure out how to deal with the hard stuff now, so then later on in life you've got those battle scars and you're ready, you're prepared.
That's how life works.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's just preparing you for your future, how strong you're going to be mentally. And if you give up early, which is a lot of people do, a lot of people choose to give up, then compared to someone who's like, oh man, like they just got all their money gets wiped away, they lose their job, everything seems like it's going against them in life, and they're like, okay, let's figure this out, let's find another job, let's start again. That's that mentality that is unbreakable. People who can just be beaten to a pulp and go,
yeah,
no, I'm gonna try again.
Maybe it's the weaker people that don't have those kind of experiences. I think it builds character, it builds strength. You're right.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's boring. Maybe like being responsible is a bit boring. And when you're in high school, you're kind of like, yeah, I want to be a surfer. I just want to. It's fun. It's more fun.
Yeah.
Because there's more freedom.
Yeah.
But I think actually freedom comes through structure.
Yeah.
And following the responsible path. You actually feel. You feel more self-satisfaction.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than just like coaxing it,
Yeah.
live in the winter to winter, or that kind of thing.
Yep. Totally. I wish look, sometimes I'm like, damn, I could give everything up right now, move to the coast and just do what I was doing.
True.
But I know it would be like, for what, to eventually come back to this exact same spot
Exactly.
in 5 years and being like, okay, I knew that was going to be a bad choice, but I did it anyway. And now I'm like, let's do it again.
Exactly. Yeah, we're avoiding ourselves, really. Like, all this is self growth, self-satisfaction. And if we're just coaxing it and living the coast, we're just kind of avoiding our potential. We're avoiding our higher purpose.
That's a good one. Avoiding our potential. Stop.
It's like, we could think about it like, you could either be, let's just say, for you, for example, a successful public speaker making a significant amount of money, when you're 30. And you got a house, good relationship, business on the side. It's all going quite solidly. You feel balanced in yourself, or that's the path you're on. Or you could have gone to you could have gone to the snow a couple of years ago, and you did that season.
Yeah.
And then that was fun.
Yeah.
You decide to go do that again.
Yeah.
You get a job over the summer, or you go overseas and do another season there.
Yeah.
And then you go back. What's that? Like 3 years later, you've got no money because it costs so much. It actually costs a lot to do these seasons. You don't really go home with much money.
No, doubt it.
You spend it all, and that's like 3-4 years later. Then you realize you're miserable because you've made no substantial money.
Yep.
You kind of want to get into gardening, but it's like you're already 26, 27, and it's like, oh fuck, my liver's messed up.
Yeah.
I've got all sorts of problems. I got sexual diseases now as well. I got a girlfriend who's crazy. She's a nutcase. I think she cheated on me.
Yeah, that's me for sure.
And what the hell am I doing with my bloody life? My parents, I have a fucking horrible relationship with them.
Yeah.
You know.
That's crazy. That's.
And then you've got 3 years to get your shit together. You know, before you're 30.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, far out.
And then it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
And that'd probably take my life. That's
Or you just keep drinking.
Yeah.
Or you kill yourself slowly.
I would kill myself slowly. Nah, I'd probably just be like, fuck it. This is too much. You know what's interesting, actually? That's my karma. So
Really?
Yeah, I was talking to Anya, and she said that, like, karmically, I have debt to pay from my past lives. Because, so I've started to build this foundation, and then all of a sudden it's gotten too hard and it's gotten too, like, confronting, and too much exposure and all this stuff happens, and then I quit. So my debt to pay is to succeed. Yeah.
So just don't quit.
That's what I've got to do. That's my job this lifetime.
Don't quit.
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that, because that I bet you I've done that exact scenario 100 times.
I've lived that life.
Yeah.
You're on the right path, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you are.
Yeah.
It is pretty fun though.
Yeah.
Just having no responsibility.
Oh fuck yeah, that was college, man. It was great. I was getting paid by Centrelink and everything. So, I mean, I still worked. At one point, I was working 4 jobs, just because I was bored. So I was like, I wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's better being responsible. But maybe you gotta have the balance. Like, you gotta have creativity within the structure of everyday living.
Yeah.
Like, we have to create. That's what we do. We have to use our creative skills, and that could be involved in your passion. So let's say your passion is motocross riding, but your job is a plumber. You have to use your free time into your passion. You still have to funnel that creative energy, or you'll get lost, you know, or you'll lose your motivation to keep going. And then you might just go, fuck plumbing, I'm over this shit, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah, legit.
You know, and then your life's really not good
Yeah.
because you've lost your income.
Yeah, fully.
So you got to keep funneling your creative energy in your spare time into the real passions.
Yeah.
You know, even if that's not going to be your job, your dream job, like even if that's not going to pay the bills, you still got to funnel it. Like, that's why my dad loves cars. You know, he's always in his spare time funneling his creative energy into his cars.
Yeah.
You know, but that can be a problem too.
It becomes a bit of an addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's I know cars are so expensive.
So expensive.
And you don't really make money off cars.
No, not unless you sell it, but even then.
Even then.
Yeah. I spoke to a guy yesterday who was a mate of my dad's, and he showed me a car that he'd built. It took him 8 years.
8 years?
8 years to build this car. I don't know how much he spent on it, but I reckon hundreds of thousands.
Is it nice?
Oh, it was really nice. Like top level elite hot rod.
Yeah?
And he said, yeah, you know, it cost me, you don't even want to know how much. It cost me a marriage. It cost me, you know, my health.
Cost him his marriage?
Yeah.
Dude.
And I'm thinking, okay, so that's not healthy.
That's so...
So he's a paramedic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So think about his brutal job. You know, he needs time.
Confronting.
Yeah. But he needs an escape.
Yeah.
Like, we all need an escape from reality.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need. But what if the actual reason why we're escaping reality is the way?
Stop.
You know, what if we confronted our problems, which is why we want to escape? Like, you wanted to go surfing, you wanted to go, you wanted to get away from life. What if you were, the thing that you were escaping actually is the path? Like, that is where you should be going.
Yeah, I totally believe that for sure. I don't, that's why I don't regret anything I've ever done, because it made me who I am today. Like, all the drugs, all the alcohol, all the unprotected sex and all that sort of stuff, like, it, you know, all the unresponsibility, uni, high school, everything, all my jobs, everything. I don't regret anything, because
that's awesome.
Everything was a lesson, and you learn from it. Like, you know, I learnt that alcohol makes me feel like shit because I'm embarrassed by what I do when I'm drunk.
Yes.
And it brings shame, and then I don't want to feel that anymore, so I don't drink. So
makes sense.
It's, you know, you learn that through that, and you wouldn't know that if you never drank. Well, I mean, for me anyway, that's my path. But
yeah,
everyone's got a different journey and stuff. Like this one dude, right? There was this one guy in my high school, and he was a grade A student, and I won't say his name, but he was and he was a nice dude. Everyone liked him. He was a great guy, but he never went to parties. He never had that social life because he was studying too much.
Right.
So then he went to uni, and all of a sudden he found alcohol, and everything went downhill from there.
True.
Dead set. Everything went downhill. Like, he basically became addicted to alcohol, gained a lot of weight, flunked out of his degree, and his parents were so ashamed of him because he's a grade A student that's now flunked. And, you know, so he stopped himself from experiencing that sort of a lifestyle. And, but I mean, that would have been a lesson for him in itself. He needed to experience that.
So I guess what I'm hearing from that is it's good to have a balance. Like, maybe a little bit of alcohol in school. Don't do too much study. You know, try and find a middle path where it's not so extreme, maybe.
Yeah, there's probably not much to really learn out of that. What I just said, but I mean...
Oh, no, definitely. It's just an interesting story. Like,
yeah, it's just a story. It's just someone else's journey. And I think the thing to remember is that, like, life can seem confusing and it can seem a bit unfair and a bit difficult, but at some point you're going to reflect back and be like, oh, that's why that happened. You know?
Hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always good to self-check.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to question yourself. Don't just walk through life blind, you know. Always be self-checking, and confront the truth and listen to people that you trust.
Yep.
And accept the hard truth, you know. Like, I've just been coaxing it for how many years skiing, and then eventually one day I woke up and I was like, I have to get my shit together or my life's going to be so crap. For the, you know, and you have to listen to elders and you have to listen to people telling you the truth. Sometimes father figures, you have to accept their slaps across the face and say, you got to stop doing what you're bloody doing.
For sure. I reckon you're on your path now, man.
Yeah.
Are you happy with what you're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's good.
I've made a lot of mistakes.
That's okay. It's important not to judge them as wrong, isn't it?
True.
Otherwise, you don't use them as a tool. You just sit there and blame them.
Or you use them as an excuse to not move forward.
Yeah, exactly. And instead of, you could be like, oh, you know, I don't judge myself for being addicted to alcohol. Okay, cool. That pressure has gone, and now I'm just like, I won't do that again because I've learnt that lesson. Whereas I was like, oh, I judge myself so much, the pressure is there, and I feel like such a failure, I can't see the big picture behind it. Maybe, I don't know.
Until you take off the pressure. Yeah. It's funny how we do that.
Yeah.
It's funny how we judge anything, like, as right or wrong.
bit annoying, isn't it?
Everything just is like, it's like hindsight gives you that.
Yeah, for real. There is nothing right or wrong. It's just your own journey. Just what if you're just doing what you're doing, you know. And I mean, if you spend the rest of your life not fulfilling your dream, then that's what you've chosen to do.
You've chosen,
and that's not anyone else's fault. You know.
Yeah, it's really not. Hey,
it's not.
You are fully in control, like, of your destiny. You know, of every choice you make.
Exactly. Like, my dad blames doctors. He blames so many people for his pain that he's in, physical pain.
Really? He blames doctors?
Yeah, and he blames doctors.
What did they do?
He's like, they didn't give me the right amount of medication and all that sort of stuff. And
okay.
I'm in back pain. They don't understand what I'm going through. They have no idea what I'm experiencing.
Okay.
They're giving me all this medication for nothing. I'm just like...
Doesn't he go see another doctor then, or try and be his own doctor?
And he's probably seen every doctor there is. In Yass.
In Yass?
Yeah. There's probably not that many doctors in Yass.
No, probably not. Well, yeah, I think his problem is that he doesn't want to take it into his own hands.
No.
Maybe he doesn't want to change.
Nah. But see, that... And his next life, which is what I believe in, his next life will come back to him, and he'll have to work on that tenfold now. You know?
They're not wanting to change.
Yeah, not wanting to change. That physical pain, because that physical pain is always meant to be in his life.
Yeah, because it shows him where he needs to go, what he needs to do.
Yeah.
What he has to learn.
It could have probably been avoided if he did the work on himself early. But I don't know.
I think it's hard for their generation. Like, they don't have the internet. You know, we are so lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Think about it.
Yeah.
We can be our own doctors. You know, I get a problem with my body, I Google it.
Really?
Yeah, fucking oath.
I don't Google it.
If I get a problem with something going on, I either tune into what's going on, and if it's something like physical where I need medicine, I'll look at Ayurveda. I'll just type in, you know, low iron deficiency, and then I'll type in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
And I'll look at what supplements I need to use, what I need to get, what foods I need to implement to work on that.
Yeah.
Our parents don't know what the hell Ayurveda is.
Nah, fuck no.
Ayurveda is the oldest form of medicine in the world that we know of.
That's crazy.
Do you think they know a thing or two? You know, it's thousands of years old. What do we use? Medical system, which is pills.
Yeah.
It's a couple 100 years old.
It's nothing.
Think about the difference.
I'm so into like herbal medicines and things like that. Is that what that's about?
Pretty much. It's just like nature, man.
Yeah,
What is a pill? It comes from nature. You know, Ayurveda is just pure nature. It's just wise old people that understood life, understood pain, understood problems, understood the seasons.
Yep.
It's like Aboriginals, you know. Oh, you've got a rash on your leg. Let's get this leaf with this. We'll put it together. We'll put it on your leg. A couple of days later, it's healed.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Ayurveda is.
It's incredible.
It's the same thing.
I'm fascinated about that.
I have compassion for your father because he doesn't know what we know.
No, I love him for who he is. You know, I'm not. I've learnt to just be like, okay, like, you know, this is just this is the path that he's chosen.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to change you, and I'm not going to try, and I'm just going to love you for who you are and the efforts you've put in.
So yeah, hopefully that was a good episode. Bit of a random one. Just talked about.
It was good fun.
Random stuff.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was good. It's nice to reminisce, I think, on you know, the differences in life, your different stages of life and stuff.
And like what you wanted and where you are now.
You know, what was something that was on your bucket list that you still haven't done?
Go to Alaska and ski down the Chugach Mountains.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Mine was to ski at Switzerland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Swiss Alps.
Oh, right. definitely still pull that off.
Let's go skiing, brother.
Let's go to Switzerland, Alaska,
Amsterdam.
Nah,
no way.
No,
maybe.
You can visit.
Oh, we'll see. Just a quick drive through.
Just a quick drive through.
Yeah.
Alright. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And everyone who's listening, please like and subscribe to our YouTube and what's it called? Spotify.
Yeah. 100%.
Leave comments, reviews, share what we got because we want to try and help people.
Yeah. That's what this is about.
That's our aim. Aim got game, baby.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Boy. Alright. Thanks, y'all.